I made a video a couple days ago, and the man who I made it on seems to have threatened to sue me for defamation. I'd recommend going and watching that video first. The link will be in the description. But for the record, I said nothing defamatory in the video, and I stand by every joke we made. We didn't even really say anything that negative about the guy. The video was pretty tame. And I already know what I'm going to get in the comments from people that clearly want to shag him. You've taken him out of context. I'm going to talk about that a bit more later in the video, but for now, I'm just going to say a lot of the videos I showed, he either uploaded or re-uploaded to his own account. So this is clearly the way he wished to be perceived, unless he hired some intern that's doing the worst job ever. A lot of people are also saying I haven't watched his full YouTube videos, and if I did, I would like him more. I have watched a few of his YouTube videos, and I do agree with some of the things he says, and I'm not saying he's a wholly negative person, alright? But he also says a lot of things that I don't agree with and puts things across in a way that I don't particularly like personally. And I can confidently say that I don't like him anymore after watching his long-form YouTube videos. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. And that's fine. Whatever happened to a bit of healthy disagreement? A healthy disagreement never hurt anybody, did it? If you like it, power to you. I just don't think his videos are for me. I've seen a lot of people say that he's helped them out of tough spots mentally, and that's great. Does that mean he cannot be criticized for the content he puts out himself? Of course not. That'll be insane. Now, I first saw this. It was like a comment on a recent video of his. So there's this guy here who's just said, basically mentioned that I made a video on him, and he replied with, "I know, great publicity. Thing is, people will find the channel and realize the truths." To be honest, a little careless from Memeulous. I'll likely take him to court to prove a point. So someone who's, I guess, a bit more level-headed replied with, "LMAO, listen, Chris, I respect you and your content a lot, but I think taking the guy to court is a little childish." And he replied with, "It's the opposite of childish. I'll get Memeulous to pay for the streaming platform whilst promoting it for me. That's genius. I don't care what anyone says." Yeah, you're coming across brilliantly here, mate. And then I had a look, because apparently he made a community post, so I checked his community tab, and he did this. "Memeulous, for anyone seeing the Memeulous stuff, remember, guys, I'm a 30-year-old man, one day away. Happy birthday. And an entrepreneur, not a TikTok or a meme account." But you have a TikTok account yourself where you post TikToks. Anyway, all publicity is good publicity when your product is good. Here's what will happen. Clips of me out of context and negative reaction videos will pop up. People will search First Man to have a further laugh and quickly realize, oh, actually, this content is good and he's nothing like the clip suggests. We then grow rapidly and the streaming platform explodes. Secondly, easiest lawyer call of my life. Slander and defamation spelt wrong. Of brand and character without evidence. Leave the video up. Just pay me whatever it makes. In short, Memeulous is growing my brand and paying me for it. 10 years in the game, the original top G. Now, after this, my timbers were left well and truly shivered. Now, let's just analyze that last paragraph a bit. Slander and defamation of character without evidence. Where? Where is the defamation and slander, my friend? Please tell me. Please give me a timestamp where I horrifically slandered you. I'm guessing the point he's gonna try and make is that I'm misrepresenting his content. Oh, you mean the content he's willingly uploaded himself that's cut like that? That content. It's clear, in my opinion, that he wants to be perceived like this for the videos that he posted on his own account. Speaking of, here's another video he uploaded to his own TikTok account. That's listed in his Instagram bio, by the way, for anyone trying to claim it's not his account. It is his account.
We're not supposed to see men break down. We're not supposed to see men cry. Like, if I ever saw like my dad break down and cry and be like, I couldn't handle this, I'd be like, what? What is he talking about? I expect you to be the leader. I would lose like a little bit of respect, and I'd think, maybe my dad wasn't the man I always thought he was.
Now, this is where we get a bit more serious, because in my opinion, spreading a narrative like that to young, impressionable men is very dangerous. Bottling up feelings and emotions is one of the reasons why so many more men than women take their own lives. Women express their emotions more. Men typically don't, and it bottles up and up and up. And a lot of the time, men don't talk to each other because they don't want to be perceived as, like, weak. I'm just going to say this now. Please do not listen to this piece of bullshit advice. If you're feeling sad or angry or depressed or anxious about something, then please talk to someone and or get your emotions out in a healthy way. Like, in my opinion, this guy is full of shit here. Like, I know I'd much rather see my dad show emotion and be sad than die a heart attack from stress at age 50 or blow his brains out. To say men shouldn't be emotional is fucking laughable. You're not Thomas Shelby or some shit, mate. And I know that children that watch the military compilations on TikTok with little Dark Age in the background are gonna call me a pussy, and fine, whatever, I don't blame them. I was a lot like them when I was their age. But come the time they're in their 20s, they'll realize this isn't a healthy narrative. offensive, in my opinion. Leave the video up and just pay me whatever it makes. First of all, no. What? I don't know if he expects me to be scared of him or something. Second of all, if the video was really that defamatory and damaging to your brand, surely you'd want it taken down. Why would you want a piece of content that so viciously defames you as you claim to be up on the internet? Because it makes you a little bit of money. Fuck, have a day off. In short, Memeulous is growing my brand and paying me for it. This is my favorite bit of all of this, because he's trying to show off how alpha he is to his audience. Like, by saying that he's going to get me to grow his brand and pay him money, which is, I mean, it's not. And it's also so good because here he admits, and he also admitted this throughout this post, that the video I made about him is ultimately a good thing for him and his business. To have a valid defamation claim in this country, you need to be able to prove a load of things. But ultimately, in the context of this statement here, 1, the statement issued is untrue and presented as matter of fact. 2, the statement has caused or is likely to cause serious harm to the reputation of the claimant. So this is obviously him throwing his toys out of the pram because he's sensitive to the jokes I've made. And the most funny thing is, we didn't even say anything that bad about him. We just kind of had a giggle at his TikToks, or TikToks about him. First, man, I know you're watching this. You're a public figure on the internet, mate. If you can't accept that people are going to express their right to free speech and make jokes about you or criticize you, God forbid, maybe it's time for you to log off. And if you do, for some reason, beknownst to me, go through the arduous, expensive, and time-consuming process of suing me because I made a few jokes about you, with all due respect, you come off as a man-child, my friend. I don't know how you think this is going to look good for you. Like, trying to scare and or silence your critics is not very alpha at all. Be like Thomas Shelby. Don't show emotion. You're showing a lot of emotion right now. And the most ironic thing here that just pushed me to make this video, as he mentioned in his community post, he's creating a platform for free speech. I assume that is free speech unless you upload a video making fun of him. I find it really, really fascinating how guys like this are all about freedom of speech. And you should be able to say whatever you want, no matter if it offends people. Unless it's criticism or jokes levied at them. Then they switch up, cry, and do shit like this. Let's just do a little thought exercise here for a second and flip the script a bit. Imagine, for example, I made a video on a feminist meltdown, and the feminist turned around and posted about taking me to court for defamation. Do you think if you went to First Man in this hypothetical and asked him what he thought of that, he'd say it was wrong? I'll leave that up to you. Now, let's just talk a bit more about this, oh, you're taking me out of context thing. I've seen more and more people using this argument over the last week or so about fucking basically anything, since Tate used it in his apparent final video. And don't get me wrong, context is incredibly important, but it simply does not apply here. You can't claim lost context when stuff like this is all the context he provides. It's obvious he wants to come across like this. Like, honestly, what does he expect everyone to do? Watch the TikToks he uploads onto his own account and go, there must be another piece to this puzzle, and then comb through hundreds of hours of video to find the full context. You mad? I watched a video of his called First Man Saves the Manosphere. By the way, the manosphere is probably one of the worst words ever conjured into this existence, where he claims to have never wanted to come across like this. Well, why upload your own TikTok videos like this if you don't want to be perceived that way? I personally believe, in my opinion, that making videos where you display a level-headed opinion, they just don't bang as much. Whereas if you say something more outrageous, it'll go viral more because everyone shares it, no matter if they agree with it or not. And in my personal opinion, that's what it looks like he's doing. Now, I'm not trying to start some cringe internet beef with some 30-year-old man, but it just irritates me how, in my opinion, he's a hypocrite. He's trying to scare me into either giving him money or taking down the video because I expressed my right to free speech by having a laugh at some of the things he said. In what ridiculous dystopian world is it illegal to mock someone? I can honestly say, in my 6 years of doing this full time, I have never had anyone so sensitive that they threatened to sue me because I made a few jokes about them. The audacity is just unbelievable. And I think, in my opinion, he let slip a truer insight into how he is as a person. And ironically, he's just straight up lying about me defaming him to his impressionable audience who are coming over to my video and flooding it with comments. And I mean, I don't really care all that much, but it's just weird how, like, someone could get so sensitive over a jokey video when they themselves put themselves across like that on the internet. And especially for such a massive alpha to react in this way. God. And once again, I just want to reiterate, if you are a fan of this guy, that's cool. That's all good. I've got no problem with that. You do you. But I'm sure we can all come together and agree this is arguably the worst, least level-headed way to go about taking criticism. Anyway, the comments from his stands on my video are pretty fucking good. So in the next few days, I will probably make a video about those comments on one of my channels. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I love First Man.